You took our guy Jaden Springer at the trade deadline. That was a move that I was not in favor of at the time. Still am not. What have been your thoughts on the Jaden Springer experience thus far?
I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, so obviously you're not in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
but on NBC Sports Boston, whenever we played the Sixers, Brian Scalabrine would rave about Jaden Springer. And when broadcasters of any team are raving about a player, especially on the opposite team, I tend to gravitate towards them. So I would watch Springer. I've watched his highlights. I've watched him with Philly. That kid has so much damn potential.
Yeah.
He has so much potential. And to highlight it, I know this player used to annoy Philadelphia fans really bad. He has Marcus Smart potential.
Yeah.
And I love Springer. I was so excited when he came here. And we're seeing it slowly, especially where the Celtics have already clinched the East, that they're now resting guys on the top end. They're letting the bench get more run. Jaden Springer had some really good minutes in that Atlanta game, which people are overblowing it. Whatever, we lost. It is what it is. But Springer had some really nice minutes. The biggest thing for him is getting confident in his offense. Once he's confident in his shot and he starts seeing the ball go through the hoop, I think his game's going to completely change. I mean, he's a menace on defense.
Yeah.
What is he, 21?
I believe so. Yeah. He was 18 when he was drafted.
Yeah. So he's 21 years old. He's a complete menace on defense already. And he's to the point where like he's learning how to not foul on every defensive possession, which is huge growth, especially from young players.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one rough thing about young defensive-minded players is they foul a lot. Jaden Springer is already starting to break out of that mindset, and I'm just really excited that he's in Boston. I do think he's going to stay here for a while. Sorry, and I think he's going to turn into a Marcus Smart-like player.
Yeah, I think it was a great move by the Celtics, snatching him up for just a second-round pick. Springer right now is an high-level NBA defender. The offense still a little bit of a work in progress, and I've had a chance to interview him a couple times. Great kid, cool personality, a guy that seems to really want it from a basketball perspective, which I always admire and I think is important when you're talking about the growth potential. The Sixers drafted this kid when he was 18 years old with the knowledge that he would be a project, and it's frustrating to me that like we just kind of gave up on the project a couple years in when seeing like tangible steps of growth in the areas that you hope to see. So I do think he's ultimately going to be a very good NBA player, and it's going to be unfortunate to see it happen to Celtics jersey. I still don't love the decision that they made that move. I get like for this year specifically that there wasn't much of a role for Jaden Springer and kind of competing with at that point Patrick Beverley and now Kyle Lowry and guys like that for minutes. But I think it was the wrong decision to pull the plug on that, and I think the Celtics are going to benefit from it. So I am happy for him. He's getting an opportunity over there, and I do think he's going to be very good in the long run. I want to throw one more player comp at him that you kind of mentioned. You mentioned
Sure.
Marcus Smart, a guy that I see, and I don't think he likely ever reaches quite the level of this guy, but stylistically, I see some Jimmy Butler in his game. And I mean that on both sides of the floor, too. The way he gets to his spots offensively, uses his body, uses his physicality, I think that's a name to keep an eye on as kind of a comparison as he continues to grow.